Hello everyone, and welcome to my organized crime / gangster guide for 10 HP accounts. At the moment, this is the best combat experience you can get on a 10 HP account and ranges anywhere from 50,000 an hour to 100,000 XP an hour, possibly even more depending on your level and some other things, but we'll get into that later. So, this does take part in Zeah, so the first thing you're going to need to do is get 40% in the Shazian household. Now, to get favor, the first thing you want to do is you need to heal soldiers. So if you come right here to this little tent, you can right click these crates and click take many, which will give you an inventory full of med packs. And then if you run east over to these soldiers, as this guy is doing right here, you just use your med packs on the soldiers, and it will. You don't have to go through this dialogue, by the way, but every time you use a med pack on a soldier, you get 0.1%. So use all your bandages on all these people on the bottom floor. Then run up to the top floor and use all the bandages on these guys. And then after that, you come back and these people will be ready to get bandaged again. So you can just keep going up and down and constantly using bandages. So that's how you get to 5% favor. So now that you have gotten 5% favor in the Shazian household, the next method is to defend the city from lizardmen. So, if you are an Iron Man, you're going to want to go ahead and skip this step and just continue to heal injured soldiers until 40%. But if you are not an Iron Man, you are going to be killing these lizardmen until you get the talisman, is what we're just going to call it. Until you get the talisman. It's not worth it for Iron Man to get the talisman because you cannot buy charges and you'd have to use cannonballs to get the charges. So if you are not an Iron Man, you're going to want to get this talisman before you begin to tackle organized crime. So once you get 5%, come over here on the map and you're going to want to climb down this ladder and come on over and set your cannon somewhere in the middle. Doesn't really matter. Always protect range once you start attacking these guys. They can use range and melee, but they will most likely hit you with range for the most part. So all you're gonna want to do, set your cannon off, come back up the ladder. Once you get up, you can take off your prayer, and then once your cannon needs to be refilled, you can go back down and reload it. But you're going to want to do this until you get the talisman. These lizardmen will drop it if you haven't figured that out yet. So continue to kill these guys until you get the talisman. If you are an Iron Man, just continue to heal soldiers until you get to 40%. Once you get your talisman from these lizardmen, it's actually probably faster to go back and heal injured soldiers until 40% favor. So get the talisman. And then if you aren't 40% favor by the time you get the talisman, go back to soldiers and continue to heal them. Also, don't forget to bring anti-poison because they can poison you. So now that you are 40% favor in the Shazian household, you can now begin to tackle organized crime and finally gain the best combat experience in the game for 10 HPs. So, the first thing you need to do is come to this spot on the map, and you need to talk to Captain G, is what we're going to call her. Go through the dialogue about tackling crime and do you know where any meetings are, and she will tell you where some of the gangs are going to meet up. After you talk to her once though, you can just click on this board and click check information, and it'll just tell you where the game is and how long until the game starts. So a little bit about the games beforehand is that each location and time changes throughout the week. Every Thursday, the worlds reset and the location and time are all the same. So all the worlds spawn in all at once. However, as the week goes on, they can get more spread out, leading to better XP per hour. The way they get spread out is that every time they spawn in, they last for 5 minutes. However, if they are killed, their timer to start again gets reset when they are killed. So, for example, if no one kills a world, it takes 5 minutes before it can start its timer, I guess you could say, before another game pops up on that world. okay? However, if someone kills a gang before that 5 minutes, that world will start its reset timer before the other one. This eventually leads to the worlds getting more spread out and can lead to better XP per hour because you're killing more gangs. If you do not know where all the locations are, I'll have a document in the description below that you can click on and will pop up and show this exact screen, and then it will have somewhere on the map where it will show exactly where that spawn location is. However, at the time this video is going up, if you were watching early on, it probably will not be there because there are still a few more locations I need to take screenshots of, but I will put that up as soon as I can. So, once you check the information on the board and you see where the gang is going to spawn in, you're going to want to head over there. So this one is in the H district, upstairs in a shepherd's house west of the bank. So we're going to go head over there right now. So once you get to the location, you're just going to want to set up your cannon and wait for the gang to spawn. If you haven't realized already, this is my inventory. You might want to bring more food if you are a lower defense level. Obviously I'm 99, so 4 cakes is plenty. A prayer pot, possibly bring another prayer pot depending on what time of the week. A stamina pot. A rune pouch. Obviously you don't need to bring a rune pouch, but just make sure you at least have laws and air runes because you need to use telegrab in some cases. Cannonballs. And then your armor, just make sure you have a decent defense bonus and a decent attack range bonus, and you'll be fine. So the gang just spawned in, and for each gang there will be a whole bunch of different members that will spawn that are just level 50s or 45s. They all use all the, I guess you could say it's not bosses, just the normal gangsters all attack with melee. And for each gang there will be a gang boss. In this case it's the level 83, so he attacks with melee. Now there can also be another gang boss that spawns in that is a level 76 and will attack with range. So if the gang boss is a level 76, you have to pray range, so be careful because you will get hit by these other guys since you will obviously be praying range. But since this is a level 83, I'm just gonna fire my cannon and protect from melee. All you gotta do is sit back and let your cannon do all the work. So once you've killed your gang, you'll notice that on the ground there will be these things called intelligence. You're gonna want to make sure you pick those up because that's how you actually gain combat experience. Also, you'll notice that they drop 3 different kinds of planks: oak, teak, and mahogany. Obviously this game that I killed specifically did not drop mahogany, but make sure you pick up planks because you can actually profit doing this method, and it will cover your costs for prayer pots and cannonballs. Now normally after you kill one gang, you'd want to continue to hop worlds and continue to look for gangs on this same location. But once you've hit all the worlds and there's no more gangs left, what you're going to want to do is you want to teleport to the lookout, and if you are an Iron Man, you just want to go back to the same tent that you talked to the lady about organized crime earlier. So once you get back to the tent with the lady you talked to earlier, you're just going to want to talk to her again, and she will trade all your intelligence in for training manuals. So if you read these, you'll notice that you can gain combat experience from them. So for each level, here, I'll show you my stats real quick. So each intelligence is worth 25 times your level. So obviously 99 times 25 is 2,475. 69 times 25 is worth 1,725, and so on. So trade in all your intelligence for training manuals, and you can just hold down the number. So attack, just hold down 1, strength, hold down 2, defense, hold down 3. Never hold down 4 unless you want to ruin your account. But since I'm going to be spending on strength, I'm just going to hold down 2 and just spam all my training manuals that I have, and you'll gain that combat experience. So that's pretty much all I need to know about tackling organized crime or killing gangsters. But just as a recap, the first thing you want to do when you first start is heal injured soldiers till 5%. If you are an Iron Man, heal till 40%. If you are not an Iron Man, kill lizardmen until you get the talisman, which you can get charges by buying lizardmen fang in the GE and just using them on the talisman. Once you get to 40%, you can start tackling organized crime, go through the same exact thing I just explained, keep hopping worlds and killing gains, and picking up the intelligence. Once you're done killing gains and done hopping worlds, you can come back to this lady, trade your intelligence in for training manuals, and trade those in for combat experience. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll respond as soon as I can. Also, another way to get in contact with me is just add me in game at Teeks. If my private isn't on friends or off, I'll be sure to answer any questions that you guys have. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.